Faces. I've seen a face with 1,000 countenances, and a face that was but a single countenance, as if held in a mold. I've seen a face whose sheen I could look through to the ugliness beneath, and a face whose sheen I had to lift to see how beautiful it was. I've seen an old face, much lined with nothing, and a smooth face in which all things were graven. I know faces because I look through the fabric my own eye weaves and behold the reality beneath. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thanks everyone that helped out with this, from I can't even begin to tell the story behind this and how many people I thought were friends that became family through this whole process. It's been beautiful. Enjoy the show.
The styles that you will hear.
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 The styles.
The styles.
The styles.
The styles.
These words will be presented in 3D. Please refrain from using your glasses and toss your TV. Make it lost like Native American burned TP. Styles will release their own rhymes organic now. You're frantic like Maddox in a panic with no place to. Get a fix to feel warm like when you're on embrace you. Styles could be brought with one, but it takes two to break you into your seat. We be complete like those rap circles on streets. Spirits caught in a web are sending screams to me, so I channel them like cable and reshape. But make no mistake, there's no break or pause, cause the ticks it takes to create these syllabic earthquakes. Make Mike shake, outpacing cars, NASCAR racers, so clean, so unique, they take a listen.
These linguistic styles run infinite miles like a marathon mystic.
Spectacular vernaculars when we kick it.
Like Latinos in the park with the football, schoolyard, Anglo tongues. My metaphysical metaphors make misanthropics hum.
Feel it, cop it and steal it, but support your local record shop. Hip-hop's about props and propers, not property.
Bigger than pocket big shit when we rip it like tides. We highlight sunrise in the blue skies for all little eyes to see it.
Believe it, Ripley's not conceiving the meaning, I mean in my word weaving, give birth to breathing.
We can be winning our lips from the unclean mouths of mean men.
The scene ends, but seed spreads like these styles.
To lots, braids, fades, blowouts, and balding weed heads.
The styles that you will hear.
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 The styles.
The styles.
The styles.
The styles.
Will ease all the pain from all that fractured attention. MC styles always a limited depiction. Got that intricate precision to deliver a submission of preconceived notions. Now define fresh. I'm in an earth state of mind. I'm taking these lines and making them crooked, making them divine in their repugnance. And if it's got one less jewel,
is it garbage?
If knowledge is passe,
then I'm old school.
If average is pate,
then take me to the produce.
Take me to the drum loop so I can drop my styles. They sudden like
impact
with impetuous
syntax.
My mind cooking something that means something that's sudden, exciting, but
touching,
but something like that. The style strike back like angry rattlesnakes. Consider this a warning. I bet you it doesn't. We be play cousins by day new mind. If we not and you walk out early, I gotta say, that's how it had to be. So actually, I gild the lily no more. Styles, contemporary folklore, hard and softcore, mix and mash to melt the paint from these doors.
These styles that you will hear will do for you what they did for me. Hopefully. Give you a sense of self, no longer so lonely.
Knowing I'm not the only
kid with pen and pad, I'm scribbling lines that rhyme about how I miss my dad. The thoughts you had, now are in your hand. Looking back at the brain that came, rained upon your lap. My styles are bright and bright at night. I couldn't sleep or nap. I read lines combined in mind in the library in the black section, checking facts, answering questions my Eurocentric teachers didn't ask. I cut class to hop the metro. I'd hop the CTA. I'd hop to the record shop named Gramophone and check out the latest tapes. I landed a b-boy party sometimes in section 8s. These styles great. If you can spit, you're not a fake. I walk thin red lines on my notebook, practicing my nightly fate. Writing became my date. To pick her up, I'm never late. In mental spaces, I bomb kids, and now I speak Hebonics. I mean, what you thought you heard. I'm a Jewish kid who kicks raps, and yes, I'm from the suburbs. I kibitz when I kick it, eating kosher, so the rib tips. My flow's 1,000 fists in the back of classes, and even if your blind teacher forgot your glasses, you couldn't miss it. From the universal to the specific, my flow manifests spirit. So keep your ears open and peep these styles when you hear it. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause for participating in a beautiful evening. I'm really, really excited to be in this space. I want to thank Joe. This is his furniture shop for, I mean, this is like a community center, y'all. Like, this space is incredibly dope and beautiful. How about a round of applause for Joe? You met Sheena at top, and she is, you know, she is one of the triumvirate and the massive crew that got this together. A round of applause for Sheena, please, for organizing. Also want to thank my mans, Kent Martin from Louder Than a Bomb, Tulsa. Kent is the one who got me involved in working in Tulsa, and just so grateful to him and grateful to y'all for welcoming me from Chicago and the folks that I bring with me. So Kent, thank you so much. You've been rocking with DJ Demco, by the way, so make some noise for the DJ. You saw Michael, the Indian Elvis, and my man crushed it, and he was dressed incredibly dapperly, if that's a word. So how about one more round of applause for Elvis? So the reason why the hubbalahoo is I have a book of poems that is just coming out called L-ViS Lives, and it is a book of poems that I hope reads like a novel. It tells the story about a contemporary rap Elvis character based off the real lives of Elvis Presley, Vanilla Ice, Eminem, the Beastie Boys, myself, and other white boys who think they're down, basically, who have taken, used, and misused black cultural production to find a semblance of their own identity. And, you know, this is a trope in American history, which is what I found so interesting, that it's a story that we do and repeat and tell again and again, from Al Jolson to Justin Timberlake. Like, this motherfucker never disappears, basically. So I wrote the book, a book about his story. A lot of it's my own, and it's a contemporary rap Elvis character, and I want to start with the poem that kind of sets the time frame of when this character is born. This is a poem called The Crossover. It was the end of disco. All the jobs were moving or changing or drying up in the city like the river after a summer of no rain. The parents moved farther from the city or themselves for those jobs, hours in commute. We received a key to let ourselves in after school. They would not be home till late. Sometimes they would not be home at all. Sometimes the commute was too much. The parents too far gone to see each other, busy running around, sometimes running around with other parents, sometimes running around doing things parents shouldn't do. There were plenty of TVs and radios. There were older siblings, city suburban sleepover camps. There was the black friend, a New York cousin, a late night PBS airing of Henry Chalfant's documentary. There was the leak. It was Run DMC. It was Nucleus's Jam on It. The house was quiet. Peanut butter spread on crackers, sandwich potato chips, Kamala the Ugandan giant. There was Bruce Lee, Saturday afternoon Shoguns. Nothing was explained. No one home to contextualize. Everything was mixed up. Ninjas wore black like Ice Cube. Burn, Hollywood, the sleeper hold, the college radio political talk show said South Africa. There was apartheid at the schools. Apartheid in the lessons we sat through. Nelson Mandela was in America. His name was Chuck D. His name was KRS-One. What is a Black Panther? There was apartheid in the bus home. There was apartheid in the lunchroom. The sides of the city we don't visit. We're told not to. There was apartheid on the television. Bill Cosby aside. There was a tape deck, a Walkman. There was no apartheid in the music, books endlessly check-outable, no separation in the library. There was Holden, the hero Huey P., the wandering protagonist in the midst of all that quiet. The new music to soundtrack the walk to school. The music truthed. The music was middle finger, fuck you actor Reagan, who sent Uncle Dave crazy back into the streets. Fuck you actor Reagan, who warred on the drugs my mom did. What you know about 3 jobs and 2 kids and running from landlords. The music was solace and ammunition, alone and one in the chamber. I listened to every word, memorized all the words, recited the words into a notebook. There was not a viaduct in the music. There was not a neighborhood to avoid. There was not a gunnery filled with Columbus broken promises. There was not a Cold War of white flight and divorced unions. There was a hero for the people, all of the people. I wanted to be a hero. So of course, being a white Jewish suburban kid listening to hip hop music every day since 1982 meant that I was not always very fresh. I did a lot of stupid things, particularly around fashion. I wore a House of Pain necklace, which was not an outstanding look, really. First day of 4th grade, wore a red pleather Michael Jackson Thriller jacket to school. That was cool, yeah. But was it though? Really? Was, yeah, well, legitimately cool. Okay, well, yeah. Well, you know, I've always thought that Tulsa is a little more enlightened. And then there was this poem. This book has a bunch of my own story in it. Unfortunately, this is about the first time I tried to rap. I'm gonna need your help on this one, but you know where you come in. This is called Call and Tepid Response. In my mother's kitchen, over a bowl of Frosted Flakes, it clicked. Something I'd been contemplating for weeks. I called Mark Cohn immediately, told him he should run for class president. I would be his campaign manager and introduce him to the 8th grade student body by kicking a rhyme. It was 1988. Rap had yet to hit the shopping mall. Mark was a bit skeptical, but every night of the campaign week, I worked on writing and, more importantly, how my mouth looked in the mirror when words came out. By Thursday night, I was 1 minute and 15 seconds of mostly Grandmaster Melly Mel mimic at the end of Beach Street, his eponymous elegy for Ramon. Rough, but in the early hours of that Friday morning, when birds kicked the symphony near my window in the subdivision of Pheasant Creek, I thought the end needed something more. Something to move the crowd of 13 and 14-year-old North Shore, majority Jewish assimilated upper-income kids who liked Wham and Def Leppard. So I dug into my growing crates of memorized bits and ahad when the B-side of the Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff Sees the DJ, I'm the Rapper tape popped into my head like a toaster pastry. That morning was pre-AIDS magic. Showtime in the all-purpose room, a cafeteria with a stage, hundreds of chairs facing the podium, giggles and whispers ripped the air like crickets until Mr. Feely, the industrial arts teacher and 8th grade class advisor, unfortunately named considering the rumors about his wood shop after school, introduced the candidates. Mark was in the middle, like Moni Love. But before he took the mic, I entered stage left, commanded the crowd clap their hands to a beat, which didn't exist. But all the MCs started that way, and it's true. White people are like a bootleg Rolex. We can't keep time. But I rode that jagged rhythm, 4/5 my way through the written verse, monosyllabic heroic couplets regaling the virtues of Mark Cohn. The funny kid I've known since grade 3. We wrestled in my house, he rolled my dog's pee. But we got older, got tough, got bolder, got to be junior high residents. Make some noise for your next class president. Admittedly, this crowd kept quiet. But you don't stop the body rock. And I didn't have enough good sense to exit. I wanted to make Wood Oaks Junior High bounce to this. I wanted to take all our mid-puberty Bon Jovi loving energy and make the roof fire, at least spark a bit. A modest barbecue would have been nice. I wanted the cafeteria transformed into a church, at least what I thought a church might feel like, a church in Wheaton maybe, but still not bad for this room full of Jews. Undeterred, I went into my appropriated call and response. Ladies, all the ladies, all the ladies in the house say Mark. Mark. Say Mark. Mark. Homeboys, make some noise. Let me hear you say Cone. Cone. Say Mark Cone. Mark Cone. Say Mark Cone rocks the spot. Everybody. Mark Cone rocks the spot. A little louder. Mark Cone rocks the spot. One more time. Mark Cone rocks the spot. That's pretty good. Now in reality, a few friends raised their voice above a whisper. But in my head, I was baptized ahead ready and able to move the crowd. Thanks, you. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Black is the color of all I care. Black records, black stacks, black bodies stacked, shot killed by O'Neill English. Speak back, black backs, lashed, raised, scars, Africa attack, black oil, black guns in the hands of blue, black foils, blues, black serum, black sermons, black sirs, ma'ams, black surgeons, eugenics, ebonics, black persons, black-eyed Susan, black gruesome, most fear when black fester, black grew sons, spores, black Moors, black Muslims round black abattoirs, what black for, black spades, dig, black earth, black words I learned to speak first. All right, Tulsa, you guys feel good? Yeah! All right, so I'm really excited because you're gonna have giants on a microphone all night. There's a whole crew that is representing Lovely. I've been rocking all week in Tulsa with one of my best friends, one of the finest MCs and playwrights in the nation. Idris Goodwin just got back from a summer fellowship, a very prestigious literary award that he was given over the summer at the O'Neill House in Connecticut, working on a brand new play of his called How We Got On, a hip hop play that's for real, like some generational portrait type shit, like kids growing up in the middle of the nowhere wanting to do this music. The play, it premieres this, we could say that? Huh? Can't say where. But the play is going to premiere in 2011, and really excited. MC, poet, that dude, my man. Please, y'all, make some noise for Idris Goodwin.
One time for Keivn Coval. Yeah. Two times for DJ Dimco. Also, too, we got to give a shout out to the homie Jeff Martin from Booksmart Tulsa for being a sponsor of this event. So make some noise for Booksmart Tulsa in the building. Where if you decide to not pick up myself or Kevin's book tonight, I know that was probably grammatically incorrect, myself or Kevin's, whatever. That's not why we're here. I'm not here to talk about my grammar. You can go, I'm sure, to Booksmart Tulsa and say, hey, Jeff Martin, Booksmart Tulsa, we need to get these books in here. But enough about that. How about we talk about me? Thank you. The book is called These Are the Breaks. My book came out in March. And similar to Kevin's book, we're both interested in writing a lot about coming up in the Midwest with hip hop culture and how that helps shape and form our identities. But I also write a lot about growing up in Detroit and lots of issues of race and the way black men are presented in media and all these other kind of crazy things that we'll get into in a second. But as a good way to introduce myself, you know, this month was my 10-year anniversary teaching creative writing, primarily poetry, in schools, public schools, charter schools, community colleges, anywhere that will have me. I just today taught a fantastic workshop and got to hang out with educators and students over at the OK Jazz Hall of Fame, which was a blast, really, truly. And trust me, I don't always say that. So this is a piece, like the 101 basic writing exercise that you start with for everybody is write about where you come from, in both the literal and the abstract sense. And so to commemorate my 10-year anniversary, I wrote a Where I Come From poem because I realized I had never really done it. So this is Who I Be. I come from grandma's basement, where plastic covered a couch, a good idea, because we spill crumbs off holiday plates. I come from those holidays, big hips, elbows, Lord have mercy, you look just like your daddy. In the kitchen, sneaking bites before food been blessed, hymnals, uncomfortable pews, peppermints out auntie's purse, Pay attention to the burning pulpit I came from Sundays and Saturday yard work, that lawnmower chorus, sweat and no excuse. Got it from Mississippi, Georgia, red dirt boots my people grew from. A mixture of my mom and pops, sons of daughters of children Jim Crowed at birth, son of a daughter of East Side Detroit, of a son of Southwest Side industrial sulfur stench, that Belle Isle July 4 gun smoke, LPs are cooling the gang, that living, breathing laughter of living rooms, a mixture of skin tones. I come from a bag of better made sour cream and onion, a bag of Funyuns, a Faygo Red Pop from the corner store, 45 cents, because back then, that's what it cost. I come from back then, pre-cell phone, pre-internet, pre-cable TV, from that crack era, those rattling doughboy speakers bumping that lingo. I got that show enough, fixin', finna, teeth-sucking girls with more attitude than patience. And I also got those likes and oh my gods, whatevers reverberating across the suburban hills. You grew up where? I grew up Great Lakes. I get this spit and wind from the interstates, from that Chi-Town, South Loop, West Loop, Rogers Park, Wicker Park, Bucktown, Logan Square, Humboldt Park, Maywood, Hyde Park, high schools and ciphers I did time in. I spit rhymes in, I taught rhymes in, I heard rhymes in, and I got it from the tapes, cassettes from the best 1988. I come out of that distortion, out of that wicka wicka, that boom bip, that boom bap, low end theories, a head nod and neck snap, and that feeling that oh snap, come out of that feeling and sound like we all big banged. We all came from sound and light, reverb and echo. All you came from some powerful hands that blew life into your dead skin, inflated your lungs. Come out of that creation stories. Got my creative stories from the word. I come from the word, and word, I am a man of many. This is a piece from the book. These are the breaks. I go around the country as much as I can doing fun stuff like this when I'm lucky. And I get asked a lot of questions. I do a lot of Q&As and stuff, and inevitably people want to talk about hip-hop, no matter what it is that we're talking about. So this is a piece called The Gangsta Rap Question. I make much of my living preaching the good word of hip-hop. Often I am invited to perform in spaces with a limited view of the culture, so I am asked to engage in talkbacks, to clarify, to expand on that which my performance pieces leave foggy. And I answer a lot of questions, but every now and again I am asked the unanswerable. Consider my various responses to the question, is gangster rap bad? 1. Before we take aim, we must first consider our national pastime and the flesh we eat while we watch. 2. Many times I am told I didn't care about rap until I heard NWA. So my question is, if a gangster rapper makes a threat and no one is there to cower, did he really make a sound? 3. Do you mean bad like good in that 50s motorcycle way? Bad like James Dean riding along the credits? 4. Criminal minds now lecture at the Ivy League. Cop killers now flash a badge between commercial breaks. Ice Cube burnt Hollywood. Once the smoke cleared, he made family movies. 5. I am watching Snoop Dogg. It's a weekday afternoon. Snoop Dogg is stirring brownie batter, bantering thinly veiled weed jokes, teaching the waspy host and her waspy audience how to rap. 6. We must consider what has been forced within the casing. 7. And now we invite you to stick your ear to the curb. And if you listen closely enough, you can hear dice collide against spray-painted brick. And this is how you bail a relative out of jail. Have you ever been so hungry? Has claustrophobia undulated from your lack of options? Has dying been your best nagging and frequent option? Have you felt the surge when reminded that life is fragile and now the bullet will graze your halo? This is how you weave slang into a noose. Keep harm from bay from your body. 8. There's a story. Something about Eazy-E attending the 1992 Republican National Convention. A big hip-hop no-no. Ice Cube called him out on record repeating, "I never had dinner with the president. I never had dinner with the president." Give it up, my hype man. It's doubtful, of course, that Eazy-E actually met Bush, but I have a recurring vision. Eazy entering the Oval Office, white-haired, olive-skinned manager Jerry Heller in tow, Bush flanked by security servicemen as he rises from his leather armchair. Bush asking Easy to sit, please. A warm smile slowly forming on his face. In my imagination, the two reminisce on the old days, cat and mouse, FBI letters, CIA files, feeble attempts at censorship. Bush asked Easy to sign a CD for his son, Junior. Easy asked for tax advice. Bush asked for tips on dealing drugs. Bush asked if the group will ever get back together. Easy asked if the military will ever get out of Iraq. I imagine Bush touring Easy through the Situation Room, showing off his artillery collection. Easy recognizing many of the high-powered rifles. Bush revealing weapons Easy's only dreamt of. White-haired, olive-skinned manager Jerry Heller suggesting that Easy should work in government. Easy suggesting that Bush become his new manager. Bush laughing at them both. 9, we must consider the blood harvest that gets us through the winter. 10, who runs Ivy League secret societies? Who produces NBC? Who makes Girls Gone Wild? Who lobbies? Who operates the satellites, the milk, the produce that give you cancer? Who buys real estate on the moon? Who owns patents on plants and bone marrow? Who defines the dictionary? Who forced that foreign language into my mouth? And who has the biggest body count? Tell me, who has got the biggest body count? 11, the real threat drifts silent, hides where few turn to look. And rappers, they talk too much. Kids like the sound of their rat-a-tat-tat flow, similar to the sounds of war they've long grown accustomed to, ever since the first toy soldier was thrust into their tiny hands. Una más. This is like a super dope scene, by the way. I'm feeling this. Are y'all give yourselves a round of applause for being here, for being alive, and being sexy. And you know who I'm talking about. The book again is called These Are the Breaks. You're gonna hear me say that about 5 times tonight. This is the title piece. I wrote this because of my undying love for hip hop culture, by which I mean this radically democratic, amazing public art culture that was created by a bunch of kids in the 70s. You've heard the myths and legends about the 70s South Bronx, a polyculture pot of gold, echo urban stomps, and hands releasing ratchets to touch vinyl, stroke the grooves, while nodding back and forth like wrists that found new ways to prove and grow and show and blend, bring it back again, edit and gut and tear new names about the wind. You've heard about the criminal, the daring, death-defying, so-called underground, so-called urban styling with that Asian technology that flooded the colony, bites of info bit and flip. Tools converted, sound stolen and distorted like legislation imported, stolen like real estate, inventions and credit, and broken up like neighborhoods when interstates arrive. And so the children of the losing war, they built a bridge again, post to post, catapults, lassos pulling different folks on subway cars, foot or spokes, diasporic, the magical, mining through mud for the fantastical, shouting, screaming out, raw, strike, flame, ignite, heart, live it, never break for the night. 4 blocks and blocks, the hips and the head. Let the breakers break and the stale left dead. And yes, we explode on the break is the place where the poem get laced. Let the rhythm hit his face first in the face. And in between all those bangs and the bumps and the pounds and the thumps, we explore time signature, we can't get enough. And to this day, the words we say have been influenced by the mold in the music, changing it around for a brand new usage. And now Bird is riding horse with Bach, and so-called third world pulled in that concerto. And some, they want to cap, they want to regulate madness because they scared of the beautiful miscegenated scratches that never die down. They only get live, can't nobody copyright fire, can't nobody copyright fire, can't nobody copyright fire. It's burning like it always do. Suburban, urban, rural, too. Plugged in, tucked in, finding new ways to tune in, finding new ways to stand up, speak up, get by, finding new ways to say how long you've been here, finding new ways to stop the erasure of markings, breaking down all the talking, loaded, smoking, finding new ways to break the rhythm expected, finding new ways to break the laws of stolen land. And some, they like to say they got patents on the noise, they got barcodes on the invisible, they got barcodes on light. But fire, you can't copy. Right?
Yeah. Thank you. All right, you're going to see more from Idris later. Of course, you are aware of this, but until Idris and I got to Tulsa, we didn't know how rich and fresh and diverse and ill the Tulsa poetry scene was. So right now, I'm honored to bring up a woman who's been doing it for a minute, ripping microphones and educating the next generation. Please, y'all, welcome your own Deborah Hunter.
Thank you. This poem is in 3 voices, and I've worked with kids who are incarcerated and throwaway kids, and I've taken some of their stories to create this piece. It's called Home. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. 1. Yeah, I heard that song before, and it's a pretty song, but I ain't living in no Huxtable house, and where I come from, love ain't nothing but a good booty slapping. Now, me and my boys, we tight, but love ain't no such thing except in songs. And listen to this. Home, shit. Growing up, my home was a house full of people 24/7 partying and divvying up what we took from anybody who wasn't part of us. Had my first shot of gin when I was 3, learned breaking and entering at 8 from a 12-year-old sister, but she and me ain't tight no more, cause she named me to save herself, but that's alright, cause she grown now and would have done some hard time. Me, I'm a juvie. So my time ain't like hers would have been, and home, my home is concrete walls and floors with guards who do things because they can get away with it, and nobody believing what I say, but that's all right, because sometimes I get mine. Took one guard down so hard, popped his back, gave him a good kick to remind him of the kidney punch he gave me, while another guard had his finger shoved up in my nose, his hand over my mouth, holding me down. Yeah, I got mine. This is my home, and it ain't no pretty song. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. 2. Yeah, I heard that song before, and it's a pretty song, and my house didn't feel like home. I'm not Dorothy, and I didn't have an Auntie M. I had uncles and cousins and a grandfather, and what they call love didn't have nothing to do with that song. See, they loved me so much that I got gonorrhea and had 3 abortions by the time I was 16, but I do believe in love, and I'm always looking for it in the eyes of every man who could possibly take me away from where I am. And home is sometimes a hard chair at the bus station, a floor in somebody else's crib, a mat in a shelter, a slab in the county jail. But home ain't no pretty song. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. 3. I used to sing that song all the time. My home was in my grandmother's kitchen, where I escaped my mother's fist, the taunting of the neighborhood kids. You so black. Walking into my grandmother's house was floating on the moon, dropping onto another planet with yellow sunlight pouring in the windows, music in her mouth, hugs in her hands. Home, home is my grandmother. I have had my mind spun around in the space.
Y'all make some noise for Deborah Hunter. All right, next up we have a treat because 5 hours ago this poem did not exist. The young man who you're about to see rip the microphone apart wrote this in a workshop that we were conducting through Louder Than a Bomb in Tulsa. By the way, Louder Than a Bomb Tulsa is a youth poetry festival that happens here in Tulsa that Kent runs and founded last year. It's modeled after a youth poetry festival that I run in Chicago, and we're very excited about what's happening in this community around young people, literacy, hip-hop poetry, so on and so forth. So this young man is a junior at Holland Hall. So y'all, he's about to tear it down. You all ain't ready, but please make some noise for Nick.
Can you hear me? Good. Yeah. So the assignment was to kind of deconstruct the stereotype that we felt we represented, and this is kind of my version of that. This is the straight gay. He strolls down the Peoria shopping center on his way to Shades of Brown, House of Espresso and Art. His jet black fedora is slightly off tilt, wool scarf thrown over his shoulders, dead, like a fox pelt shrouded over a hunter's nest after a good shootout. He wears vintage t-shirts and pieces of electronic equipment as necklaces, and bracelets made from reeds sewn tight by the hard-working indigenous people of some third world country, because he's against poverty. And he does all these things because he's trying to be a Don Draper, but all he's feeling in his heart is Madonna. Because in this day and age, it's hard to tell who's a gay fairy boy and who's just a hipster. Yeah. The alternative scene has given him a place to hide because real men are about open-toed sandals and feelings and vinyl instead of baseball caps and four-wheelers and sports center. He rides a bike, he brews some tea, he walks a beat in a futile attempt to run from what he is. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you have to be, like, effeminate, right? No one has to see I like dudes as long as I can pass off flamboyance as being anti-culture. You slip on some Ben Stiller shades because he tries to be ironic, but the irony is no longer him, it's how he's been allowed to become this. Androgynous society is as fluid as sexuality, how they both flow into the city. There's a jungle downtown, and he's the prey and the predator, the hunter and the hunted, lost in a cyclone of self-hate and witty movie references. Straight, X, gay, X, gay, X, straight, again. Beautiful boy. Who you like is not all who you are, so please stop hiding in coffee shops and in record stores and go back home. Live under a bridge, hug your mother, watch a mainstream movie even if it sucks ass. Because the only difference between you and them, as much as you hate it, is not taste or preference or style, but the fact you loathe yourself to the very core and they're too happy to care to think otherwise. You are the genetic product of 47 billion years of evolution and we're rotting all the time. Stop the superiority complex and embrace it.
Make some noise, y'all, for Nick. Yes, sir. Good job, man. Thank you for, and he had to run home and get the poem too, so thanks for doing that. So the exercise actually was based off a poem. This is the kind of jackass teacher I am. I'm like, yeah, yo, so we're gonna look at this poem. It's mine, and now write off my poem that you just heard me read. So this is a poem that Nick modeled it off of a workshop we did today. It's in the Elvis book. This character, this kind of trope, speaks. This is a poem called What the White Boy Wants.
Are you sure you want to follow that?
Yeah, I'm good actually though, thank you. The white boy wants to be liked, wants not to be thought of as weird. The white boy wants to be dug, felt, thought of as fresh. The white boy wants his name synonymous with dope. The white boy wants critics not to underestimate his name each time it appears on a bill. The white boy wants you to scream if you are with him. Wave your hands, wants girls to cry, their fathers to worry. The white boy wants to be consumed on the charts, in the streets, in your heartthrob. The white boy wants the ladies, all the ladies, and a woman to understand him in the morning. The white boy wants day to pass in a white cloud of Percocet and Xanax, the day to disappear and sleep before sunset. The white boy wants night to be all black sky and glitter, stars and sequins. The white boy wants a company, a crew to accompany, a band, a brand. The white boy wants his brand name uttered in tears and ciphers. The white boy wants to be the only one. The white boy wants the cool and hip of a leadoff hitter in the black league, quick and slick with the steal. The white boy wants a room full of people to know his name. The white boy doesn't know this to be impossible. The white boy knows there is something terribly wrong. Thinks answers might hide in the darkness cause the light lies like a motherfucker. The white boy knows his father lies, learns words too early like a fair and colony. The white boy knows the bookshelves are crumbling beneath the weight of white men's lies. The white boy knows black jokes. He tells black jokes to the one black boy he meets at summer camp. The black boy makes the white boy's nose red. The white boy knows there is something wrong with all he has heard. The white boy knows all he knows he wants to unknow. The white boy knows he would never move his body if not for basketball, b-boy, up rock. The white boy knows he would have never left the house and went to the library unless Chuck D used big words and dropped Bobby Seale out his mouth. The white boy knows he would have stayed right where he was if not for the all-city cross-town hall mecca. The white boy wants to be special, wants to transcend his race. The white boy wants to be John Brown because that is the only white boy in history worth being. The white boy wants to be the next Jacob Lawrence to paint him in a series of lithographs. The white boy wants to be Bear Rabbit and fuck with white folks, or at least the white boy wants to be the white boy. Other white boys fill in the blank when thinking about the white boys they want to be. The white boy knows his existence is a goof, a synapse in the millions of borders it takes to hold us back. So the white boy feels like an outlaw, a public enemy, too. All right, one more again. Idris Goodwin.
I love my life right now. Oh man, this poem is not about white people, but it kind of is though. All right. Oh snap! Oh boy, I'm just not sure which one to do. Okay, I'm gonna do. There's some delicious food over there that I cannot eat right now, but I'm gonna smash it later. Like ridiculous, like Cookie Monster, like you know when he got like cookies like all over us, like yeah. I'm gonna be like the chicken. Anyway, this piece is called Soul Food, and it's dedicated to that delicious platter of food over there that I'm gonna destroy later and get all over my clothes. This is called What is Soul Food, or Soul Food. It is the scattered, forgotten, collected, concocted, blood and heart, hooves and knees, jowls and ears and skin and innards. Yes, the innards, yards and yards and yards, boiled till they swell sweet over flame, then onions and celery and carrots and cayenne, the stomach's howl fading to a whisper, or else bottom feeders, all that dirt-infused funk, robust, bursting like garlic cloves spanked by the wooden spoon, peppered and fused and snug and corn husk cradle, cheesecloth, dough, rock salt, carried across tundras, barren lands that stretch from eye to infinity, carried on the back of pack animals by tribes you didn't even know you belonged to. Each bite spills stories traded over continents just like spices and human beings. Put your ear to the pan. Do you hear that symphony of flour and salt and egg wash? All that wonderful sizzle splatters across Sunday tablecloths, lace made transparent, white shirts ruined, neckties smeared. We are not just Wonder Bread and mayonnaise. We are gumbo, blistering jambalaya, arroz con pollo, sofrito, paella, shrimp and grits, carne arrabada, and sopapillas. We are not ketchup and jelly beans. We are chicharrones, pork rinds, chutney, cha-cha, salsa, and guacamole. Udon noodles served from hot pots, chicken feet sticking out of the broth like birthday candles. We are the crock pot, the wok. We are the hot curry, smooth ground chickpeas, lemon and parsley. We are shellfish snatched from murky water, sauteed, coaxed open to sing. We are not just a drive-through window. We are a nation of soul food, and we taste damn good.
Yo, man, Idris, though, for real, though, it's like we are the matzo ball, filter fish, kugels, you know what I'm saying? Challah breads. All right, man, good. All right, sequel. We are the, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so right now, a woman who every time she's in the room, she makes that room better, for real. Organizer, poet, educator, Tulsa's own. I'm so glad that she's involved, that we met, and she's now involved with Kent, and I think it's good because a lot of her brilliance and her honesty is going to push all of this forward. Please, y'all, Tulsa's own, welcome her to the stage. Give it up for Confidence.
How y'all doing? Oh, I'm gonna need you to do better. How y'all doing? It is such an honor to be on the mic. I absolutely love the vibe in this place. It is beautiful. What better life than to be shouting poetry in the streets surrounded by art? Okay, y'all. I rarely ever ask my students to do what I am not willing to do myself. So, today we did a workshop that was challenging the stereotypes, and I went out of the box and did something that I was not expecting. So here it is. It should be perfect. Most people that know me know I've never got on the mic holding a book because I memorize everything. But this is a matter of hours old, and I want to set the example that you don't always have to be perfect. So, here we go. The girl that everyone calls gorgeous wants to know it and not have to hear it. She wants the body to match the face in her mirror, perfectly rounded thighs to complement the smiling almond eyes you're so entranced with. She wants her waist to wind down, bend like neck, collarbone. Gorgeous girl wants healing hands, wants the tips of her fingers to pluck words from places in her spirit they should never have been put. She wants her temple stretched to carry life to right itself without the labor, toil, and YMCA work camps. She wants a Holocaust to mass murder all the lies she gave birth to. Gorgeous girl would like you to stop saying that she has the prettiest face, as if her body is not present. All right, so that was the experiment, and I am gonna just do another short piece, and I'm out of here. This piece is called We Were Gonna Do So Much. We were gonna do so much. You were coming home and I was counting the days you were gonna teach me how to ride my bike. Peaches and cream huffy, I learned to ride without you, pictured proud father beaming, watching me, white lightning and orange streamers. I outgrew my bike and got get-along gang skates, and you skated around promises, mama. Figured 8 was too young to be disillusioned, so she agreed with my delusions, and I kept making plans. You were gonna push me on swings, and when life traded playgrounds for muffled screams, you were still the knight in shining armor in all of my dreams. We were gonna catch fireflies. I caught them all alone. I was learning how to shine in dark places. I've traversed crucifixion and resurrection, looking for an answer to a 30-year-old question, simply no. Home and daughter are something you will never own. Papa, there's no need for a second coming. I've stopped watching the skies. You taught me how to save myself. Goodbye.
Thank you, Confidence. All right, next up, we made the trip with one of my students from Chicago, actually. Malcom won the Louder Than a Bomb competition in Chicago as an individual, and also his team won, I mean, not the competition is stupid. Poetry slam is stupid, ultimately, right? I mean, it's a trick in order to get a larger audience for poetry, and it works, thankfully. But Malcolm's team did win. Out of 72 teams, they ripped through the Chicago scene and represented Chicago at the National Youth Poetry Festival, which took place this summer in the Bay Area. And so he made the trip down, 18 years old, just graduated high school, and one of the finest young writers in the country. Please, Tulsa, warm welcome from Malcom London.
Hi. I'm not texting right now. Yeah, so we did a wonderful workshop this morning with these two guys, and this is a poem I did from the workshop. It's called Shout Outs. An explosion of lungs, teeth, grenades catapulted into a field of landmines. Machine gun hyperventilation, breath, ammunition. This is a shout out to ugly, to atrocious, to evil on the offense. I will bring the D, become the devil on earth, a fallen angel. Here's to getting back up. To gods, to goddesses, to modest men, with confidence of a Messiah. To Tulsa, to welcoming, to Superman, AKA Kid Martin. Here's to future, to building communities, communion. Here's to drinking, to movement, to becoming friends, and to the elimination of FRI, end, to us, to now. That's it. Then another poem I'm gonna do is, it's entitled Letter to My Unborn Daughter. Okay. Yeah. This is for you, Idris. Okay. For you, man. When you are first conceived, I won't remember the time it happened. Permanently trailed by my shady past, foreshadowing a parent. When told of your genesis, I will feel the breath of God heavy against my skin. Sunken in anxiety like a mother half asleep anticipating her son's arrival from city streets, keeping him wrapped up longer than she ever could. I apologize now. Before you develop into the spitting image of the woman that gives birth to you, before you are gobbled up by cutthroat boys whose Adam's apples are lumps at the neck of lust, I will swallow regret. Regurgitating an apology from the lining of my esophagus, realizing you are preordained to despise your origin, or me. Your childhood, a glittering graphic galore of glamorous fairy tale endings. Lost teddy bears, easily replaced, playing dress up in the finest fabric, scraped knees, bandaged with trips for ice cream. Barrettes, tied to ponytails and cartoons, distracting you from more than just the animation of a smile your mother will sketch on to stay drawn to mine, my princess. I will answer all math problems till the 7th grade. I am already beginning to forget how to add fractions, but by then you would have become one. Your first boyfriend will be without any of my knowledge, yet I will know him before you do. He will be charming. He will cheat on tests, copy homework, steal lunchroom milks to quench his thirst, with good intentions carried in his cheek, bad decisions disheveling his conscience. He will be a first. He will cheat, copy his father, Steal other kisses from preteen girls in the lunchroom to quench his thirst. My mouth dry with mosaic responses when bombarded with lungs full of questions like, why are boys such jerks? Wanting to know why male adolescent respiratory systems function to inhale virginities and exhale excuses. Incapable of solving this innate algebraic problem, you will go on to switch out variables. At 15, you will love again. New lover, same smile, sophomore charm. Same heartbreak that drives your mother to exhaustion with me. At 16, you will be licensed like her. Stay parked next to boys who curb your enthusiasm, ignoring their smile. At 17, one young gun shooting for the stars, attempting to impress you will. His smile, a cacophonous echo from crashing into your mother's arms, her voice whispering the bark she's walked dogs before. I apologize now. Knowing false Prince Charmings will puzzle you because I have been that jigsaw crowned with the same jewels. My princess, never lose your fairy tale endings. Lost teddy bears, easily replace them, but not just because you need someone to comfort you. I will be there dressing you up in the finest fabric. So when you remove your clothes, I know you will, and I don't want any of the fucking details. It won't be for validation. Scrape knees from falling for smiles that aren't worth the wrinkle in your dimple. Bandage them with my open arms. Barrettes, leave them tied to ponytails and cartoons. Let nothing distract you, my princess. I apologize now. Because I know I will be far from the perfect man, but I promise, I pinky promise to be a great father. Sincerely yours, Malcom London.
All right, Malcom London, Chicago, Tulsa, Connect. Next up, I'm going to bring up one of the co-sponsors. Booksmart Tulsa has been spreading the word and does great work year-round in Tulsa. Please welcome Jeff Martin from Booksmart Tulsa.
I just want to say what a special night this is, which is no surprise. When we started doing literary events, book events around the city 2.5 years ago, it was because we felt there was a need. There's a great music scene, there's a film scene, obviously there's this great film festival going on this weekend. Those things were going, but we wanted to see where do words fit into this city? Where do books fit into this city? Where does poetry fit into this city? And it kind of felt like we were going it alone for a little while there. But being able to partner with this event, and certainly I had nothing to do with getting this started, is validating because now everyone else is out there doing it. So let's give a big round of applause to everyone for kind of just spreading the word, getting books out there. This is why I live here. You know? When we live in Tulsa, you go around and there's always those people. There's always people who say, "What are you doing in Tulsa?" You know, we've all heard that before, and I think this is why we're here. So poetry always was my first love. I remember, you know, poetry's dead. That's what you hear, right? Everybody talks about poetry being dead. It's kind of like Mark Twain, you know, he says, "The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated." Yeah, is poetry what it was in the year 1900? No, it's not. Are we sitting in a darkened room with a candle reading to ourselves? No, it's become something else. But I remember the first time I read The Wasteland, or when I first had J. Alfred Prufrock's love song kind of slap me in the face. And you kind of think about, what does it mean to measure out your life in coffee spoons? And then you think about Charles Bukowski and all of the things that he brings to my life and maybe brought to your life, or whoever the poet was. I remember the summer I wrote everything in lowercase letters because I wanted to be E.E. Cummings. And poetry is a thing, and I don't know what it means to your life, but for me it's always kind of been a harbor. I'll leave it for a while, but I always come back to it. And it's always the place I go when I need whatever it is that poetry brings into my life. Sometimes it's something funny, sometimes it's something sad, sometimes it's something to just remind me of something else. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. I want to kind of end with something. I feel like, you know, I have to do a poem of my own, of course. Just to, you know, I don't want to be the one person not to. So here we go, a little short one. When I was a boy, I would lay awake every night, wondering when the bombs were going to fall onto my bed. But as I grew, I realized we were killed much more by words than weapons. And it's my ears I should have been covering, not my head. Thank you.
Indeed. You know, the question, what are you doing in Tulsa? We also, of course, get in Chicago. What are you doing in Chicago? What aren't you doing like on the East Coast or the West Coast? One is that I'm enjoying myself and I'm affording my rent. The other is that I'm living around people who like aren't plastic, and like I feel like if you sneeze on the coast, you get put on. Do you know what I mean? And I think in the Midwest, even though we get flown over, this is where people actually hone their craft. This is where artists work because they love what it is they do. And so this is where the grinders are, this is where the hustlers are, you know what I mean? And so I think what we're doing, certainly here in Tulsa, it feels this way. I know in Chicago, this is the work that we're dedicated to, is that, you know, we're creating, I mean, this space tonight is something new. Like, I've never been at a poetry reading in an alley with graffiti in the back and like Atari projection and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, never happened to me before. I don't know about, maybe this is how y'all get down in Tulsa. I don't know, like, yeah, man, you know, oh shit, that was Tuesday. Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, Tuesday, you should have seen Monday, man. We had, I don't know. But, you know, this is what happens, I think, when people gather and imagine new spaces. Last night I was talking with Joe, who's, you know, whose space this is, who's opened up this beautiful space. And you know, he's on this idea of reimagining the need for public space and putting public space to reuse. And I think this is going on again and again, and I think the Midwest is getting hip to this. You know, Detroit is trying to reimagine what it should do with its public space. In Chicago, we're certainly engaged in the same ideas. And I think we're creating a movement that is putting art and culture at the center. But it's not just for the purpose of, you know, drinking boxed wine, which we're definitely going to do plenty of in a moment. But it's for other things too. Donations accepted, indeed. But it's also it's to bring people together, you know. And one thing that I've been struck by in Tulsa is that it's reminiscent, eerily and I guess maybe unfortunately, about so much of what is amazing about Chicago, and also so much what is horrible about our own history of racial terror in America. You know, that the north side of Tulsa is like the south side of Chicago and vice versa, I think y'all's south side is our north side. And never shall the two meet, it seems, until, you know, the people who reimagine the spaces in which we inhabit change that narrative, right? It's the poets, it's the artists, it's the folks who do the work of building this room and the rooms of Louder Than a Bomb that get us together. And so we need to be creating and reimagining how our country tells its story, you know, and I'm dedicated to that work. And I know that there are a lot of people who put this night together who are dedicated to that work. And it's a movement that we are in. You know, it's 2011, it's not 1954, although sometimes it seems like that and worse in America, but it's on us to reimagine the world that will be. That is, I think, the role and the toll of the artist is to use what we do to reimagine the spaces that we want to create and inhabit. Unfortunately, America continues to tell the same story again and again. And this past Wednesday, America murdered another black man who was innocent, who was sitting on death row in the state of Georgia. And the case of Troy Davis is, of course, emblematic of the story of hundreds of young men, primarily young men, and primarily almost 90% of the men who are in prison are of color. And America continues to lynch these men legally. And so we are reimagining the way we use public space. We need to go further and continue to reimagine the way we live as a country. And so the final poem I'm gonna read tonight is in Solidarity with Troy Davis. Troy Davis, before he passed, said that the fight to end the death penalty and the fight for justice is not just about me. It's about a long story, a long struggle, and it will continue after I'm gone in the physical. This is called Holler for Troy Davis. I'm with you in county, where your mug shot is a clown mask, and there is a circus of villains selling cotton crack to the front row seats of your sentencing. I'm with you in county, where boys are incarcerated as men in this new jacked up city of kickback thieves. I'm with you in county, where many have been coerced into confession. Chicago knows Burge and long nights of blue torture. We know folks get knocked for holding steel in the steel mills of Gary no longer health care. We are waiting on so many who will not come home. So we're with you in county, where you are in isolation 23 hours a day, holding a vigil and garage sale for justice. We're with you in county, waiting for you to come home. We're waiting for you to kick it and teach it and be about it, because we are trying to be about it, and we rally around you as symbol, but you are person and flesh and locked 23 hours a day in isolation, and we are here via train or car, and some might even rode a bicycle, and what kind of leisure does that sound like from the inside? But we're with you in county, despite the distance and hours of sunlight. We're with you in county, desperate for hope and progress. Your case so clear-cut, all the eyes have recanted your name, and the real gunmen walk factory floors of Beretta and Congress. We're with you in county, where your words bend like rivers, where you live and now die on the inside shining despite all that darkness and opaque bulletproof plastic. We're with you in county, where there are thousands like you waiting for someone to be with them. We're with you in county, where the air is laden with death, but you rock a fitted halo tilted with bravado like what now blues, what now history, and my executioners. We're with you in county, where you're already free of this country, this body. We're with you in county and want to be free like you want to be home, and we want you and want the world to want you like we want you free. Thank you. I'm going to invite Idris up. We're going to do one. You know, Idris is also an MC, a rapper. People like the hip hop music. People are fans of the hip hop. We're gonna work out a microphone. This is an Idris song, which is brand new, off a new EP that he just came out with. Idris has been dropping all sorts of albums for the last bunch of years in Chicago and around the Midwest. This is his brand new album. It's called Breakbeat Bars. All right, no, I talk all night, man. I got jokes, I got stories, I got shit to say. You wanna kick another piece? All right, yeah, come on. Y'all, make some noise for Sheena. Yo, make some noise for Sheena's outfit, too, I'm saying.
You know, the guy that's running the party and the sound, his grandmother wore this. My friend let me borrow it for tonight. His grandmother wore this with Peter Bedfield's show and tell, playing the accordion. And I just found that out today. Oh my God. So, where's Joe?
Back here.
Right there. Joe, this is for you. To the spirit that did embrace my spirit, to the heart that did pour out its secrets into my heart, to the hand that did kindle the flame of my love. Let's get a round of applause for this wonderful, wonderful man. We've hustled. We're on not a shoestring. We're on the last little piece of thread of the button that holds your tuxedo together. And it's because of this man right here. I love you.
All right, y'all.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it's fitting to end a great night like this with a little song.
All right.
This song is called The Phoenix Bars. It's on my new album, Breakbeat Bars. Keivn Coval's gonna join me on the hype man tip. One time for Keivn Coval.
Let's go.
Right. DJ Demco, drop that beat. Yes. Check. Yeah. What? Alright, check. Go. Yeah. Allow me to introduce myself as the rapper, the chick making the word matter. Quick stealing info, visiting a town near you. I hear you like that hip hop too, so I'll be spitting beat a beatless, lounging a seatless, trying to keep it fresh so you might repeat this. Uniqueness don't make no chips, so it's a quandary. Do I keep it cosmic? Do I dirty up my laundry? Higher when these days collegiate, 30 plus years, can't believe it. Money tangled up, can't begin to unweave it. Opportunity not new to me, sometimes it's hard to seize it. When I see it, gonna squeeze it. Chokehold, day, world catalyst, release rhymes my throat hold. Rhymes my fingers pin, if the beat is the mic. I was raised in suburbia, where they never heard of ya.
Ken lawns at high price furniture.
With the Run DMC, kids used to laugh at me. I wanted to MC. Now in 2010 they say, you MC, what are you, an idiot? Hey, look at where you living, G. That's right, I be west of the Great Lake, holding down my household, eating what my wife bakes. Cooking up these poems with pens in my reach and grasp right a little bit. And then I go and teach a class piece of mine priceless. Neck very iceless. Trying to walk the earth, just spread rhyme science. Trying to spread the rhyme science. This rap be my pops in the day with the fro growing. Michigan winter shovel flakes while it's still snowing. River Rouge rap bell, I'll pass 8 miles north of the D where the kids learn fake style. Rap be the big 3 mufflers, camp shaft, playoffs, unions, neighborhoods and ruins. Suburban sprawl, southern draw mixed with the city slang. Billy Tim's, Lionsdog Tim's with the tongue hang. Shirts verse skins, cut lawns for ends. Bid whist, older folk, Kodiak, Virginia Slams. Rappers 96, Wicker Park 88, cover art, arms folded in a pose. Sticker scared those who wasn't in the know about the beats and the flows. It was for foes, but also Humpty Hump's nose. This rap is to relax, this rap is to remember, this rap is to remix, rebirth, the Phoenix. This rap is to relax, this rap is to remember, this rap is to rebirth, remix, the Phoenix. This rap is to relax, this rap is to remember, this rap is to relax. Where they never heard of ya, high price furniture. Where they never heard of ya. High price furniture, maybe low price, maybe even less. I kick a freestyle off the top of my chest. Peace to Joe on the furniture tip. What rhymes with furniture? I don't know. Oh sheesh. When I rock over beats, give it up to Demco over there on the street. Yo, this be the alley. I don't wear valleys. I'm from Michigan, not Cali.
Yeah, you can clap your hands. It's good. It's good. You can clap your hands. Make some noise for your DJ. DJ Demco, make some noise.
All right, thank you, y'all. You've been wonderful people.
Yeah, you guys have been a wonderful, beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just a real quick plug. In February, we're going to come back for sure. February 11th is the finals of Louder Than a Bomb Tulsa. If you've not been to that event, make sure you are there. It's going to be at the Jazz Hall of Fame. February 11th, it's a Saturday. It's going to bring young people from all over Tulsa together to do this work in your city. Please come out, support the work that Kent's doing, that Jeff's doing, that Joe's doing, that Sheena's doing, that you all are doing. Thank you to Confidence, Deborah, Nick, Malcolm. Thank you, audience. Idris and I are going to now have some drinks, for sure, which you should help yourselves to. If you are of age, by the way, I'm saying, I know, okay? You know, no offense. And Kent Martin is going to spit some bars. Kent Martin bars all day.
Our Elvis impersonator, or actually,
that's right.
has prepared a whole 1970s set for us. So I'd like to invite him to perform.
Excellent.
Sorry about that, Michael Lowman. Y'all ready for Elvis again?
Yeah.
Back in effect.
So as Elvis is playing, Idris and I are going to be selling books and CDs over here. Please come support the books. Mad cheap. Make some noise, y'all, for 70s Elvis.
A big shout out to India Palace.
Yeah.
Was that not maybe? No, we have